Welcome back to the Minifect episode 6, where I give my take on sports and just about everything else. And so my last 5 episodes, I've went into depth about the Vikings, and now I'm kind of going to go over like everything else that's happening in the sports world. And to start it off, we're going to go with my second favorite team. I love New Orleans, like the beignets, the streets, performers, everything about the culture. It's just, I love the city. And anyways, we're going to go into what's their situation at quarterback and how they're really going to how this is going to play out. I think I have 3 possibilities of how I think this is going to go, and starting off with the highest possibility and working my way down. And so it's really going to depend on the situation with Drew Brees. See, the Saints are in a weird position at quarterback they don't see very often, where they have 3 quarterbacks that are just so good. I mean, there's 2 teams that are in a weird situation at quarterback. The New Orleans Saints with their 3 core quarterbacks, and then the Carolina Panthers who have like their core. The Carolina Panthers are in a situation that they put themselves in, and the Saints are at a situation where that's kind of a good situation. But so all 3 of the New Orleans Saints quarterbacks, Drew Brees, Teddy Bridgewater, and Taysom Hill, are all 3 going to be free agents this offseason. Taysom Hill being a restricted free agent, and the others 2 being unrestricted, meaning that they can decide to leave and go to another team, any other team, while restricted, if they get another contract, it's going to be the Saints' decision to let him go. So all 3 of my possibilities, I have Taysom Hill staying because they use him on all cylinders, and they use him on defense, on offense, on special teams, passing, throwing, everything. So there's no way Taysom Hill is going to go anywhere. He's a restricted free agent. He can't say he's going to leave. So that's how all 3 of my possibilities of Taysom Hill staying. And the way the rest is going to work out is really going to depend on Drew Brees, because Drew Brees is not going anywhere. I mean, his story is so cool with him Chargers, then trying for the Dolphins, and then going to the Saints and becoming one of the best quarterbacks to ever live. I mean, all-time passing yard leader, all-time touchdown leader. Drew Brees is in a place where he could not be in a better spot, and there's no way Drew Brees is going to decide to leave the Saints. It's just not going to happen. However, he could leave the Saints, but the only way he's going to leave the Saints is if he retires. So it's either he stays with the Saints or he retires. And really, it's like a 50-50 to me. I think both can really happen. Drew Brees has a lot of years ahead of him. He's 41 and he's still in like his prime. Like he hasn't had a decline. Like you see Tom Brady, who's had a decline over his years. Drew Brees has been very consistent. And so the reason why he would retire would not be because he doesn't like playing football, because he's so good at it and he just loves playing football. He's on like his best roster he's been on his like a whole career, but he's so good at football, so that wouldn't be the reason why he's going to retire. The reason why would retire would be for his children and his family. He has 3 kids that are at home that he doesn't see very often, that he would like to spend more time with. That's why Peyton Manning retired. Peyton Manning has had years ahead of him, but he wanted to retire so he could be with his family more. You know, he has more years ahead of him, not a situation at money. So like, those aren't the reasons why they would leave. It would be for their family. If they still love the game of football, love the way for football, I mean, practicing everything. Players don't typically retire for this reason. We've seen it with Peyton Manning, where he retires and goes with his family after winning Super Bowl MVP, I think, even Super Bowl MVP. Yeah. And then to go spend more time with their family because they don't see him much. And Drew Brees, his 3 kids are a lot older than they were the time he won the Super Bowl. There's that picture where he's holding up the kid. Such an iconic photo. Anyways, this is a possibility. So if Drew Brees decides to stay, which it's really a 50-50 to me. I mean, he can retire, he can stay. He has so many years ahead of him, so you would think he would stay. If he stays, he's going to stay with the Saints. He's not going to play anywhere else. He's not going to decide to leave. And if this happens, I don't think Teddy Bridgewater will stay. I don't even know if they'd offer Teddy Bridgewater another contract. As great as he is, he would cost a lot, and he's going to go somewhere and be a starter. I don't see Teddy Bridgewater sitting another season out. I mean, he came into the league as a starter, and he's not going to leave the league as a backup. And Teddy Bridgewater, young player, I see him going to a team like the Colts, the Dallas, that's a good possibility, Chargers, someone with like protection on the offensive line. Well, Chargers don't have protection on the offensive line, but they'll get to that in the draft. Offensive playmakers and stuff like that. Someone who can't really draft a player early in the round and need quarterback. So Teddy Bridgewater is not going to go back to Minnesota and be a backup. As much as I would love that, it's not going to happen. I think the highest possibility is probably Dallas. Anyway, so Teddy Bridgewater would not stay if Drew Brees leaves. And then Taysom Hill is obviously, they're going to give Taysom Hill another contract. This is going to happen with all three of them. Taysom Hill is too much of a player to let go. He's a great on all cylinders, and they've developed him into who he is now. Block punts, throws like 50-yard bombs, catches touchdowns, runs for touchdowns, throws touchdowns. I mean, everything. They throw him on defense too. They play him like a tight end. There's Taysom Hill's not going anywhere. And then the other possibility, well, I have two more, but another possibility would be Drew Brees retiring. So it's really a 50-50, like I said. So these two are like the main possibilities. So Drew Brees retiring, and then they take both their quarterbacks back. Teddy Bridgewater, they'll take back as a starter. Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater will have more snaps than Taysom Hill, but probably won't play as much as Taysom Hill, if that makes sense. Like, they'll snap him, they'll throw it to, I mean, Michael Thomas, obviously, but the other players too, and use him for his arm. I don't see them using Teddy Bridgewater to run. It's not going to be, I don't see that. He has that leg injury that's too much of a red flag, and that just won't happen. And then Taysom Hill coming back for the same reason. Now, number 3, I have Drew Brees retiring. This is another possibility if he retires. And then now they have the situation with keeping Teddy or starting Taysom Hill. Now, paying 2 quarterbacks is rough. I mean, they're the highest paid player by far, and paying 2 quarterbacks for their cap hit is a lot of money. And the Saints have a lot of players to pay, and so they might let Teddy go. And that'd be a bad decision if you ask me. I mean, Teddy, the fans love him, the players love him. Teddy loves playing there, and I couldn't see them passing on Teddy and letting him go and starting Taysom Hill and Taysom Hill could be a starting quarterback. I mean, he can snap the ball and he can do anything, but you probably do need another weapon. Like, Taysom Hill's a great catcher, probably a better catcher than he is a runner, and so yeah, Taysom Hill will still be the X factor like he always is in this offense. Just, you never know what he's going to do. Is he going to run at the ball, throw the ball, catch the ball? It's complicated with him, and there's no way they're going to let Taysom Hill go, and they could take him back as a starter or a backup that plays more than Teddy Bridgewater, so it would be kind of weird there. And Teddy Bridgewater might want to leave because he won't have as many snaps and as much money, so Teddy Bridgewater will possibly leave, or maybe they won't give him another contract. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is going to leave, though. I think the only way he would leave if they don't let him have another contract. So let me know if you disagree with anything. If you have any questions, anything, let me know down in the description box below. Now, please like for the YouTube algorithm, because if I can grow this channel, that'd be great. And every like helps the channel grow, and I would appreciate that. And till next time.